a shoe fit for a dad bod. Ginger Runner. What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner review. I'm happy to be reviewing another shoe from Saucony. It's been a while since the Ganvara. Is it the last Saucony I reviewed? I ask myself, and yet don't know my own answer. Regardless, we're back. Saucony Triumph 17. It's a lot of triumphs. It's the Seattle Sounders of triumphs. It's a soccer reference. But before I get into the review of the shoe, I want to remind everyone to go subscribe to Kim's channel. She's fired back up the channel. She's dropped a couple of reviews thus far. More reviews coming in the weeks ahead. It's lots of fun. Go check it out and subscribe. Now back to the show. It's been a few years since I reviewed the Triumph ISO 2. So gone is the Triumph ISO 2, 3, 4, 5, and in comes just the straight up Triumph 17. From my understanding, this is where the Triumph will be moving forward, and it's entirely new. When I pulled these out of the box, I knew that the Triumph was not my normal fare. It felt heavier, bulkier, higher stack height, higher drop, almost therapeutic. Basically, this is the shoe that your dentist would be wearing when they drill holes into your teeth. But after giving them a fair shake, I can absolutely see how and where the Triumph might fit into your gear rotation. The shoe features a thicker, softer, more comfortable upper, Saucony's new PWRRUN Plus midsole material, which looks an awful lot like Adidas Boost. I'm sure their lawyers are having a heyday with that. A grippier rubber outsole, and a beefier build that would give Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson a run for his money. But will this shoe stay into my rotation, or is it just too much for me to handle? We're gonna find out in today's review. As always, I like to talk about the things I like about a shoe, what I dislike about the shoe. Triumph 17 is no exception. Let's start with things that we like. Comfort. The shoe feels like a giant bean bag that absorbs you in front of a warm fireplace while you're sipping on a glass of bourbon. Despite the fact that I feel the shoe's a bit overbuilt, there is so much going on in the comfort department. The materials they're using in the upper are very soft against the skin. Feels good underfoot with that midsole material. Even the laces are soft and stretchy. There really isn't a sharp edge on the shoe, and it's a truly comfortable, if not too comfortable of a shoe that really does absorb your foot, hugs it nicely, makes it feel comfortable, and I can see how these are a very popular model in the Saucony lineup. You slip your foot in and it just wants to stay in there. The PWRRRUN Plus midsole. PWRRRUN. I don't know why they removed some of the vowels and not all of them. It's like they're trying to create some stupid Silicon Valley app. It's ridiculous. Regardless, the midsole works. It's a soft, cushioned, yet responsive midsole that I talk about time and time again in many shoes. The Triumph 17 does a really good job with it. Just look-wise, it looks very similar to Adidas Boost, but feel-wise, it has more support, more responsiveness. It's not going to suck your foot into it or wear out prematurely. It's surprising, and that is why I'm including it as a like, because it surprised me. It's better than PWRRRUN. PWRRRUN always had that weird balance of being too responsive, not enough cushion despite being marketed as cushioned. The PWRRRUN Plus midsole does a better job of that balance. And durability. The shoe is built like a tank. I'm really not surprised because every Saucony Triumph that I've reviewed in the past or tested in the past is built quite well. This is no exception. The mesh upper, the molded upper, that insole, the midsole, all of it just comes together to make a shoe that will last you for a very long time. Obviously, the shoe is designed to go long distances, be a really fantastic trainer for those who like to log their long miles or maybe out there for multiple hours at a time on your long runs. The shoe will hold up. It'll last you a while from the outsole to the upper. Durable. That being said, it's not all pumpkin cookies and gelato. There are a couple of things that I dislike about the Triumph 17. The bulk. I just can't get over the fact that this shoe has a lot going on. Literally. The heel collar itself is very thick, very padded. The material is nice and soft against your skin, but there is just so much of it. It's very resemblant of a skater shoe. I talk about that a lot when I talk about ultra shoes. The Triumph just has it. Not only that, but the stack height. You have a lot underneath your foot, so you're not going to get any sort of ground feel. The mesh that they're using in the upper is also very thick. It gets very hot on hot days, so you're dealing with a lot of materials, a lot of things going on in this shoe, which just contributes to the bulk, which also contributes to my next dislike, the weight. It's a heavier shoe. The Saucony Triumph 17 weighs in at a hefty 11.6 ounces in my size 11. That's more than an ounce per shoe size. Good math, me. That's just a lot. That's a lot of weight in a shoe like this. I mean, if you're gonna be putting this shoe up against other shoes in that same weight category, we're talking Hoka's and maxed cushion shoes across multiple brands. If you're used to that, I can see you being okay with that weight, but for me, it just feels like it. So not only are you dealing with the bulk of materials, but that contributes to an overwhelming amount of weight. Not gonna be the best shoe to grab on race day. Which brings me to my final dislike, heel drop. So this is something that I felt right away in the Triumph. It never really went away. I'm used to anything from 4 to 10 millimeter drop. I've tried it all. The Triumph 17 features an 8 millimeter drop. For those of you needing to know what that means. Basically, the stack height in the heel to the stack height under the forefoot is different by 8 millimeters. It's a ramp. 8 millimeters in many shoes may not feel like a lot. It's negligible, you may never feel it. It was immediately noticeable in this shoe right out of the get-go. Hasn't changed a lot as I've run in this shoe more and more. The heel carries a lot of weight, a lot of materials here, cushioning, the outsole, midsole, everything just makes that back heel weigh down. If you are a heel striker or you're doing a lot of downhill running, you might like that. I, as a more mid-forefoot runner, I tend to prefer to be up in the ball of your foot. Scuffing your heel, feeling the weight of the heel is a noticeable thing in a shoe with a stack height like this. So it says 8 millimeter, it felt a lot steeper than that. But that's pretty much it for dislike. So in conclusion, the Triumph 17 was a surprise purely because this new midsole PWRRUN Plus is really nice. It's a great balance between tons of cushioning, tons of responsiveness. I was leaning towards this shoe as a fantastic casual trainer. So if you're someone who doesn't necessarily go out and run marathons every month or tries to PR every single distance and you're just looking for a shoe to last you a long time on those long, slow distance runs, this is a shoe that might work in your lineup. It doesn't necessarily cater to any sort of stability. It's simpler in that it's a very durable hard rubber outsole, a softer and resilient midsole, and plenty of upper materials to softly caress your foot into a false sense of comfort as you log those long miles. So if you need a workhorse, you don't care about weight, you don't care about looks, but let's get more specific. Build quality, as I mentioned, it's a very durable shoe. They're putting the materials together here quite well. It'll last you a long time, midsole included, which cannot be said about a bunch of different types of shoes from different manufacturers. The midsole holds up pretty well here. This new PWRRUN Plus, I'm excited about it. Comfort, yeah, as I mentioned, the shoe is comfortable, not only underneath foot, but around foot as well. Good sentences. The fit, surprisingly dialed in. The laces are super stretchy and soft, so just getting a good tight fit across the midfoot was a little difficult at times. But I imagine if you're getting a shoe like the Triumph 17, you're not looking for a precision fit. So overall, true to size 11 for me. All is well. And price at $150, that's certainly at the steeper end of things. While I think you get a lot of life out of the shoe, $150 is a ton. If it was $120 or below, I'd be like, yeah, this is one of those shoes you can just log tons of miles on, maybe pick a race shoe separate. It's just super steep, $150. And finally, looks. As I mentioned, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the looks. They do have an all blackout version, which isn't much better. It's casual, plain, nothing really exciting going on here in the looks department. But again, that's subjective. There's gonna be some of you out there that look at that and go, oh, she's shiny. Regardless, we have one last criteria to judge this shoe upon. Is it a buy, try, or a why? I'm gonna give this a try, which is a surprise to me. It was originally a why. After running in it for a while, I figured this is a shoe for a lot of people that may not need that light, fast, precision-based racing shoe. This is just one to log tons of miles in comfortably. In that case, if that's what you're looking for, give it a try. So that wraps up my review of the Saucony Triumph 17. If this is a shoe that you are interested in, you want to find out more information or get a pair for yourselves, I have links in this description that will take you over to Running Warehouse. You can get the shoes there. It's an affiliate link. It helps the channel out, costs you nothing. It just helps. But let me turn the tables to you and ask you, have you run in the Triumph 17? It's been out for a while now. I'm curious if you have logged some miles and what you think, or the previous Triumphs. Are you looking at getting this? In the comments, let's chat it out. So that is it for today's review. If you liked it, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/thegingerrunner. Click the little notification bell to make sure you are notified every time a new video is uploaded. Right over there, social media links you can follow across the board, and at the bottom, patreon.com/thegingerrunner is where you can support this channel for as little as $1 a month. This is my pitch. There's really cool perks on the back end, including tons of new merch. We have GR Crew merch available just to Patreon supporters right now. T-shirts, hoodies, beanies, neck wraps, all of it. It's amazing. That's it. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video. Get out there, train hard, race harder and part of the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Thumbnail posing.